In this video, we're going to be talking about 5 different strategies that you can be using while on spring break to stay lean and stay shredded. Hi, my name is Tim DeLeo. I'm a licensed sports dietitian. I've been working with high-level athletes for over 10 years in the college and professional setting. My channel is all about sport nutrition, tips, recipe videos, and whatnot. In today's video, like I said, we're going to be talking about 5 ways that you can stay shredded and lean while you're having fun on spring break. So let's dive in. Strategy number 1 is that we need to be maintaining a high protein, low carb diet while we're on spring break. And there's a few reasons for this. One, protein is going to be extra filling and satiating for you, so you won't be feeling hungry throughout the day. Plus, we're giving your body adequate protein so that it doesn't need to be breaking down your muscle protein for any of the protein functions that it may use. If we don't get enough protein each day, then your body has to start pulling protein from somewhere to do those things, and it's going to start with your muscle tissue. So while you're on spring break, we should be eating about 1 gram per pound, somewhere in that ballpark of grams of protein per day. So if you weigh 180 pounds, we're trying to get to 170, 190 grams of protein each day. And then to kind of go along with that, we want to make sure that we're following a lower carbohydrate diet because more than likely you're not going to be really working out. You're not going to be practicing or training like you were, in the weeks prior. So we don't need as much carbohydrate to fuel your body. So we can make sure that we keep that carbohydrate intake down. That's going to also help keep your calorie intake down as well, so that we don't have extra body fat gain during this time. I tend to see this a lot with athletes, that they don't match their nutrition to their output. So spring break output is really low, but they continue to fuel like they're practicing and training every day, which results in a surplus of energy and thus increase in body fat gain. So we want to make sure that we can match the intake to the output by decreasing the carb fuel and keeping that protein intake high. Strategy number 2 is that we need to be doing some type of resistance training while we're on spring break. So that doesn't have to be, a full-blown hour workout, but we need to be doing something, body weight exercises, bring some bands to do some exercises to provide a little bit of resistance, but we need to be sending a stimulus to the body to maintain that muscle mass, because when you are in a period of inactivity and not working out or not training, that's typically when your body will start to, shed the muscle because there's really no stimulus telling it to. So in combination with tip number 1, high protein, tip number 2, we're doing some kind of resistance training 3 to 4 days out of your week there. That's going to send the signal to your body that we need to hold on to muscle during that time. Strategy number 3 is maintaining proper hydration. Your muscles are a large percentage of water, so we need to make sure that we're staying hydrated throughout the day, especially if you're going someplace warm. You're going to be out in the heat, sweating, losing a lot of fluid. So we need to be making sure that we're staying hydrated. At nighttime, you might be going out and having a good time, drinking some adult beverages, if you will. So we're going to need to be hydrating as well to prevent the effects of hangover. So ideally, you're drinking about half your body weight in ounces each day. So if you weigh 180 pounds, divide that by 2, you're looking at about 90 ounces of fluid to stay adequately hydrated. I'd also recommend bringing some electrolyte powders as well, something like Drip Drop, Liquid IV, Element, something that's going to provide some added electrolytes to help your body to hydrate and rehydrate from going out and drinking alcohol at night. These things can be important. If you're not providing any kind of electrolytes, your body might not be absorbing and holding on to all the fluid that you're drinking. And that leads us right into strategy number 4, which is just being mindful of the types of alcohol that you're drinking. So again, we want to make sure that our calorie intake is a little bit lower during this time. So if we're drinking, really heavy beers, mixed drinks with, sugary syrups and juices and whatnot, that's really going to skyrocket the calories of those drinks. So we want to be choosing something a little bit leaner, something like a light beer, something like, seltzers. If you're going to do mixed drinks, use a 0 calorie or low sugar mixer. because that's going to help to make sure that the drink still tastes good, but it's not going to have a lot of extra calories on top of that. For example, if I get a vodka Red Bull, I'm getting the 100 calories from the vodka and about 100 calories from the Red Bull to make a 200 calorie drink. If I get a vodka and zero sugar Red Bull, I'm only getting 100 calories from the vodka, equaling a 100 calorie drink. So I saved 100 calories there, which can be used for another drink. So just make sure you're being mindful about the types of alcohol that you're drinking during this time if your goal is to stay shredded and lean. And then strategy number 5 is to bring supplements ahead of time, and we're going to be talking about the supplements that are going to be most beneficial for you during this week. And those are going to be creatine, a protein powder, the electrolyte powders like we talked about, a B vitamin complex, and NAC or N-acetylcysteine. Creatine is going to make sure that we maintain your strength and power throughout this week of kind of lower activity and maybe spending less time in the weight room. There's also been research that has shown that creatine supplementation can help to maintain muscle mass during periods of inactivity. So we definitely want to maintain creatine supplementation during the spring break week. The protein powder is going to be really important just to keep our protein intake high throughout this week. Like I talked about in step number 1, you can add it to smoothies, add it to different recipes, bring it with you to the beach in a shaker bottle just to kind of get an extra dose of protein. So it's going to be really important for you to bring. And if you can't bring a protein powder, then I would recommend, bringing some protein bars, or, when you get to your destination, going to the store and picking up some higher protein bars and snacks to make sure that we can keep that protein intake high throughout the week. The electrolyte powders, like I talked about, that's going to help with that hydration. You can also use them as a preloading supplement. So before you go out for a night of drinking, you can take one of those supplements to help to really hydrate you super well, because the added sodium in those powders is going to help the water kind of stick to your body. So you'll be really well hydrated, knowing that alcohol dehydrates you. So the better hydrated that you can be at the start of a night of drinking, the less likely you're going to feel the nasty effects of dehydration and hangovers the next day. The B vitamin complex is going to be really important as well, because when your body is breaking down alcohol, the liver is going to be using a lot of B vitamins in order to do that. So if you're going out, consecutive days in a row, we're really going to be utilizing a lot of those B vitamins. And more likely than not, we're not going to be replacing those B vitamins with the food choices that you're going to be having, during the day. So we want to make sure that your body has, everything that it needs to, break down that alcohol and, keep yourself feeling good day after day. And then lastly is the NAC, or the N-acetylcysteine. So NAC is a precursor to the antioxidant glutathione. So glutathione is going to help to eliminate or detoxify the body from acetaldehyde, which is a toxic compound that gets produced when your body breaks down alcohol. So if that acetaldehyde builds up, then that's when you're going to feel the really nasty effects of the hangover the following day. So if we take this NAC, before you go out for the night or shortly after you consume alcohol, and that's going to allow it to kind of ramp up in your body and ramp up that glutathione production to hopefully eliminate, a lot of that acetaldehyde. So that way you don't have the effects of the hangover the following day. So to summarize those points, we need to be following a high protein, low carb diet throughout this week. We need to be doing at least 3 to 4 days of resistance training. We need to be staying adequately hydrated. We need to be choosing lower calorie alcohol beverages. And then we also need to be making sure that we pack and prepare with our supplements to help us maintain power and performance, and also recover from the effects of alcohol throughout this week. I know that if you follow those 5 tips, you're going to be able to have a lot of fun and stay lean and shredded throughout the spring break week. And if you like this video, like and subscribe for more sport nutrition tips.